Thank you for downloading the Flixters podcast. On this week's episode,
I wanted to look away, but at the same time, I couldn't look away. I had to keep watching it as well. From her body, she produces a penis comes out.
I remember the first episode I watched, we had like dicks flying around. The girl, because one of the schoolgirls was, I don't know what age they were, but she was thinking of dicks. So you just saw dicks. And everyone she spoke to turned into a dick. It was just mad. Yes, of course. Absent without leave. That's what I know it as.
That's what I know it as.
A.W.O.L.
I
know it as. You know what? That's how I first found out what A.W.O.L meant.
You know what?
You know what A.W.O.L meant?
A.W.O.L.
Do you know what? It's a patient film. It's 2.5 hours long, but it gets there. And like you said, the bank robbery. There's.
Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of TheFlixters. Today, folks, we are bringing you more movie news, box set watch list. We've got anniversary corner. We've obviously got new on streaming. We're going to be bringing you a really great movie review, and also we've got some hidden gems for you, so keep it locked to the Flixters and we hope you enjoy the show. All right, okay, D.O.W.L, so let's start off with I always keep saying mail and shout outs, but you know what, we don't have any I'm going to just delete that on that bit where it says shout outs. So who is shouting out?
Social media shout outs.
Social media.
We've got a couple today. We've got one for Charlie Jar UK. And she shouted us out on Instagram because she watched the 40-year-old version. And so I think we mentioned it on our posts, and she said, "Oh yeah, let me go and watch this." So she gave it a watch. I think she said that she thought it was okay.
Right.
Wasn't like totally blown away by it. Certain parts I think she didn't really like. I don't think she really liked it being in black and white. She gave a little in-depth review, actually.
Oh,
but,
wow.
She appreciated the sort of music aspect of it and certain elements of it. I think it's like an autobiographical kind of, sort of movie. So yeah, she appreciated some parts of it, but she said it seemed like it was just, I don't know, trying to do too much when you didn't need to do too much. So good feedback from Charlie Jar.
That's brilliant. Oh my god, man! Charlie, you should be on the show. You should be reviewing movies.
We've got our own radio show on iLive UK.
Brilliant.
But yeah, next shout out goes to Zakharov. And Zakharov was our usual listener and inputter for the show, and he gave us a shout out on Instagram again, and that was because of what was it? A few horror movies, but also he's also he loves his music and loves his scores, and he was laughing at when we spoke of Ramin Jamin, but it's Ramin Jamini, isn't it? I think it is.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, we need to get that right. We need to get that one.
Yeah, we need to get it right because he's a top composer. I think he may have been to the live show of Game of Thrones.
Wicked.
I think he may have been to that, and he was saying how good it was, and he was saying that we need to get ourselves, there if possible. So yeah, thank you for that shout out, Zakharov.
Thank you, Zakharov.
Poet, as usual, thank you. And Queen Poet also, she actually also shouted us out for 40-year-old version as well. Actually. Yeah. She was all up in it. I think she actually, I think she liked it more than Charlie Jar UK. So yeah. So those are the shout outs this week. So keep the Instagrams and Facebooks and tweets coming in, guys.
Keep them coming in, folks. All right, okay, let's get into movie news. And yeah, we've got a couple of interesting bits and pieces of news that we want to kind of share with you. So first up, Ryan Reynolds. Obviously, Ryan Reynolds. This guy's been making movies, for the last 20 years or so, D.O.W.L. I remember he kind of started off as kind of like this goofy, he was skinny, wasn't he, when he first started off, D.O.W.L?
Yeah, he was like in a sitcom, two guys and a girl in a pizza place or something.
Is it? Okay, yeah. I remember him from like Van Wilder. Like, do you remember that movie Van Wilder?
No, what's that?
This guy, he plays this character called Van Wilder, and he goes on this like crazy like adventure. And all I remember him from there was kind of like blonde. I think he had blonde hair, but this like white teeth, teen from America going on this wild kind of like vacation or something like that. And yeah, he kind of started off playing those goofy characters, and now. Devaldo, he's in this, obviously Deadpool is what made him, right?
Yeah, Deadpool's like that's been massive for him. And I think even he's been obviously a star before that, but yeah, you're right. Since Deadpool, it's like he's just gone to a next level, like leading all these films. So yeah, big news actually. So Ryan Reynolds, I think we actually spoke about this a while ago actually, about how different movies different, either video games, but also old school toy companies,
Yeah.
making movies. Obviously, we had Transformers, we had G.I. Joe, and now it looks like we've got another. Do you remember Mask
Mask. Oh my
Crusaders?
gosh. Don't tell me he's doing that.
Yes, Mask. He's going to play Matt Tracker. Tracker's going to lead the mission. And Spectrum's got the X-ray vision. Do.
Oh
Mask.
my
Remember that?
gosh.
Do you remember Mask?
I remember it vaguely, but listen, you just taking it to the next level. You know the songs.
I always know the songs, or I kind of know how the songs go with these old school cartoons. But yeah, Mask was like they're like I don't know. Yeah, it's like Fast and Furious almost, but it's not so sort of sort of silly. Mask
Right,
is like a
okay.
group of organized, like a bit like Secret Service men, but they've got all these cars and gadgets, and they go around saving the world. So Ryan Reynolds is rumored to play Mask. I'm not sure which company Mask. I think Mask might be one of those Hasbro sort of companies, I believe. But it was like an 80s cartoon, quite big. So yeah. I mean, this is it looks like the old school's coming back. All these old school Barbies being made by
Hasbro, isn't it Hasbro? No. Barbie's Disney, sorry.
Mattel. Is it
Oh,
Mattel or
Mattel,
something?
Mattel.
Hasbro and Mattel, one of them. But I know Barbie's being made at the moment by Harley Quinn. What's her name?
Oh, Margot.
Margot Robbie. That's right. Yeah, she's
Yeah, good
making
day.
Harley Quinn. She's producing and she's starring in it. So
Wow.
yeah, toys.
Listen, that is just an industry in itself, man. The toy industry, shit, that's like billions worldwide. All right, okay, so Ryan Reynolds is doing that. Now, he's also connected to the next piece of news as well, but this is also involving Mark Ruffalo. So tell us about what's going on with the Incredible Hulk.
Oh man, do you know what? This one's a bit funny. This one is a bit funny. So there's so Ryan Reynolds is going to be playing Mark Ruffalo. Okay, Incredible Hulk. Mark Ruffalo. Let's get this here. Mark Ruffalo has been cast to play Ryan Reynolds' dad
Oh my
in
gosh.
Netflix's The Dad Project.
What?
When I first heard this, I was like, huh?
What is
Because
this?
it sounds weird because they don't seem too, far apart in age.
Yeah, but I mean, Ruffalo, he's like, what is he? Is he hitting, he must be like nah, he can't be mid-50s, is he? Mid-50s? That sounds way too old.
No, I think I think you could be right there. I think he could be like 53, 54, something like that,
Wow.
Yeah, it's mad. But the Dad Project, not so much is known about it, but I mean, I would think in real life, I would say they're probably about 10 years apart. I
Yeah,
would think.
not much in it, right?
Not much in it at all. So, yeah, it's just, I just saw that and thought, huh? But then, who knows what more could sort of stem from it. But we'll have to wait and see when it comes out. We'll get more news. I mean, it's just literally about to sort of start production and stuff, and it'll be on Netflix, I'm sure, at some point next year.
Exactly.
But
And
yeah, I don't
by
know.
the way, it's 9 years difference between the two. 9 years. 9 years. All right. Okay. Now listen, we love a great Predator movie on the show. We've spoken about Predator like either in Anniversary Corner or in kind of like, in passing, like Alien versus Predator, kind of like that whole universe. We've spoken about it loads on the show. And just recently there was, hang on, what was it? Was it The Predators that was a couple of years ago?
It
No.
was. Ooh, that's a good question. It was Predator 2. The Predator was 2010, wasn't it?
Okay, right.
can't remember what it's called. Is it Predators? Oh, something Predator. I don't know.
Yeah,
This is the one that had
it's
the guy from Narcos in it.
yeah, and it had great actor Sterling K. Brown in it as well. It had Psylocke was in it as well. I've forgotten her name.
Olivia Munn or something, or
Olivia
something
Munn was
Munn.
in it as well, and it was just kind of like this action,
Yeah,
directed by Shane Black, who directed Iron Man
yeah, yeah.
3. So kind of he wrote the original Predator movie, which is a great movie from 1987. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. But so what's going on, Devada? Are we seeing a new Predator movie?
We are seeing another Predator movie.
Wow.
Yeah, this is going to be the fifth one. I'm not sure what's going to be called yet, but it's being directed by the same director that gave us 10 Cloverfield Lane. And for me, that's probably the best
Yeah.
Cloverfield franchise movie for me. The first one was good, really good, don't get me wrong, but 10 Cloverfield Lane is a different film and it's really, really good. So that director is Dan Trachtenberg. I just totally pronounced that wrong, but it's something. It's Dan Trachtenberg. And Trachtenberg. So you know what? Predator is one of those movies that it's just everyone knows Predator. Predator is just he turns invisible anytime. Exactly. He's got the gun on his shoulder. I mean, Predator is just so universally recognized that if they made another film like they did, was it 3 years ago?
Yeah, we'll go and watch it.
3 years ago, it ended on a really good high. Like,
yeah,
they started to re-engineer the Predator suits for the US military.
Yeah. And the thing is, with this one, there's rumors. The talk is that the Predator may go back into the past.
Is it?
There's rumors. I mean, I don't know. Obviously, take this with a pinch of salt, but they are talking about that the Predator encounters a Native American tribe, and they
back to the jungle, innit?
Man, that's
Who's
what they
be better in the jungle. Oh, that's a good battle.
It's going to be some Revenant shit going on, man. There's going to be something.
Me.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I mean, but yeah, this is all great. So if you're a Predator fan, this is going to be good. I mean, I'm a Predator fan. De-Val is as well. So we'll kind of watch this one. So if any more news on that, we will definitely let you know. Now, okay, here's quickly. I want to jump onto this next piece of news. Now, last week I said on the show that there's a rumor going on that Chris Pratt is going to be joining Thor: Love and Thunder, and lo and behold, Chris Pratt, he confirms it. Well, listen to what's going on, right? So Chris Hemsworth is also working on a Hulk Hogan movie, and we kind of spoke about that as well. And he posted, I'm not sure if you've seen this, Devada, he put a picture up on Instagram, and Devada, Chris Hemsworth, this guy is jacked. This guy, right, is off the charts. He's picking up this old school, those monster truck tires.
Serious?
He's pushing it, he's lifting it, and his biceps are popping out, right? So he kind of he put something up on Instagram, and then check this out. Chris Pratt wrote this on one of the comments. He wrote, "Hey bud, just heard from my trainer, and he needs you to stop working out because since we're going to be in the same movie and everything, he doesn't want me to stand next to you if you look like that." He's basically confirmed, hey, since we're going to be in a movie together, I mean, what movie is that going to be?
Exactly. So, that's a nice way to sort of break it. But I'm not totally surprised because, I mean, with the ending of Endgame, it seems like they're going to have some synergy, some kind of partnership, and they're going to be bouncing in between each other's films and stuff. The battle of the Chris's,
Exactly. And remember at the end of it in Thor when he goes, God, as Guardians of the Galaxy, I love that.
Exactly.
That was brilliant. Yeah. That was so cool.
Looks like it's going to be a crisscross.
Exactly. All right, and you've got some you've got some Guardians news for us as well, right?
Yeah, so Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
You didn't get that jump. You didn't even get that jump reference.
What did you just say? Did I miss it? Oh no.
Jump.
Crisscross make a jump.
Jump. Come on, man. The Daddy Mac will make you. Come on, Daddy Mac.
You know what? I have to apologize. You know what? I was up watching the Tyson fight.
You were watching the Tyson one?
Yeah. Watching the Tyson fight, and I'm knackered. The fight was so quick. So quick. Yeah, so quick. But it was good. Tyson still looks a bit, dangerous, but Yeah.
This
Anyway,
guy, I wouldn't want to get in the ring with that guy, man.
no,
That guy's
never.
a
You couldn't
beast.
pay me. You couldn't pay me,
Exactly.
especially in his prime. In his prime, you could not pay me,
No way.
honestly. But yeah, so yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, as we know, James Gunn has been delayed because of all the sort of, drama and stuff, and obviously he's doing the Suicide Squad. But they're starting with production, and the working title is Hot Christmas.
Oh.
Hot Christmas. Not sure what that actually means.
Mm.
Hot Christmas. I mean, Christmas is hot in certain countries.
Yeah.
But is that like a I don't know, a link, some sort of hint
To somewhere, like to a song or something.
Mm. Oh,
I
it's
don't
Hot
know.
Christmas.
And
We'll have
do
to
we
wait
know
and see.
anything? So James Gunn, he's done with the Suicide Squad, right?
Yeah. For that, I mean, most of the photography, maybe some pickups may need to be done, but
Look
from what I
at you,
understand, it's
pickups.
mostly completed. Was that?
I said, look at you using
Yeah.
film
Come on,
terminology,
man. The
pickups.
principal pickups. And I don't mean trucks down in Alabama. I don't mean the pickups when you go and get the stuff. You go and jump in the pickup and
Oh my
we're gonna
gosh.
hightail it out of here. No.
Yeehaw.
And also, do you know what? I found out some more news. Working titles galore. So
Yeah,
Doctor
go dish
Strange
it.
2, otherwise known as Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness or something like that, isn't it? I can't
Yeah.
remember the name. It's so long. I reckon they might change that name,
Yeah.
But yeah, the working title for that is Stellar Vortex.
Ooh.
Stellar Vortex.
A vortex
Some people are saying it's a hint to another Marvel
dimension.
character that we spoke of a while ago by the name of America Chavez.
Oh, yeah, we mentioned that last week. What did we say?
America Chavez. Yes. So, America Chavez. so,
This is hilarious.
so Stellar Vortex, some people are saying it's linked to her because her powers are kind of like that. So Stellar is like stars, isn't it? Star, Stellar.
Yeah.
And Stella with America Chavez on her sort of her suit, her clothing. There's a big star on it. People are saying, "Oh, a star that links," but also vortex is like portals and stuff.
Yeah.
And America Chavez, some of her powers in the comics and stuff is opening portals. So people are
Mm,
saying that working title for Doctor Strange 2 is
makes sense.
a hint that America Chavez is going to be involved. So if that is the case, you know what? Interesting. And Multiverse of Madness. I mean, you may need to open up some portals to go to these multiverses, mightn't you? So
Yeah.
who knows if America Chavez will be helping with the madness in Doctor
You know what?
Strange 2.
That movie is going to be great. Listen, there's rumors about Spider-Man being in it, Wonder Vision being in there. We've got obviously, kind of taking on this kind of like horror vibe to it as well. So yeah, man, I can't wait. Sam Raimi, obviously, he brings his horror pedigree, obviously, to the movie as well. So that's going to be all interesting. Cannot wait for that one. It's going to be really, really good.
It's actually listed, on her power list that she can open portals interdimensional. Do you
Well,
know
there
what?
you
She's
go.
going to be in it. I don't care what
Yeah,
anyone says.
that's
America
it.
Chavez is going to be in it for
There
sure.
you go.
Yeah.
And yeah, and with Spider-Man being in there as well, it's just kind of, maybe we do. Hang on a second. The whole kind of multiverse with the Spider-Man thing. Were we going to
Yeah.
be seeing that in the next Spider-Man movie, or was that going to be in this one?
Oh, who
We
knows?
spoke
Maybe.
about that. Remember, we spoke
Yeah,
about it on the show once.
we did. I think Madam Web is a big character in the Spider-Man world who usually opens portals and stuff like that. So
Ooh.
maybe she might have some sort of involvement. We never know.
All right, well, let's keep our eyes peeled on that one now, folks. You may not know this, so listen, we are going to let you know this. Do you remember this show on Netflix called Daredevil? I'm pretty sure you remember the show, right? Because it was absolutely wicked. That first season of Daredevil was just like, nah, man. I watched it. I had to watch it again. I watched it a couple of times, and listen, the show is brilliant. And then that led on to the whole kind of Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Defenders. So Netflix, they had all of that in conjunction with Marvel. But 2 years ago, they basically cancelled Daredevil. They cancelled all of them. So we spoke about it on the show. We were like, oh gosh, man, what's going on? Like, what's going to happen with these characters? But today, the 29th of November, the rights to Daredevil go back to Marvel. And you know what? Fans have been online. They've started basically, they've launched a campaign a while ago, right? So check this out. There's a guy called TJ Garvey who's been kind of like online. He's been racking up signatures, and apparently they've got 370,000 signatures and counting. So this guy called TJ Garvey, he's tagged Marvel Studios, Marvel Entertainment, Hulu and Marvel Studios, Kevin Feige, saying that we haven't given up. We want to see Daredevil on our basic screens again. And what's interesting is they tagged in Hulu. So, Devout, what could this mean? They bring back Daredevil. Obviously, it might not be able to go back onto Disney Plus because of obviously the tone and the grittiness of it. But Hulu, that could work for Daredevil, right?
Yeah, 100%. Just the way right now Hellstrom is on there, I think it could be a good place for, like you say, Disney content that is a bit more adult.
Yeah.
Can we say?
So there's this whole kind of like momentum going online, and Wilson Fisk himself, right, Vincent D'Onofrio, he kind of retweeted this whole thing that's going on, and then he wrote down, sign this people for Save Daredevil. So even Vincent, the actor who played Wilson Fisk, is like, yeah, man, he's getting in on it, man. Hopefully we can see Daredevil again, because I think there's more stories to be told with Charlie Cox in that role, right?
Yeah, definitely. I'm up for that one. Definitely.
All right, okay. Go check it out if you haven't seen it. Let's go back to another Chris Devaldo. I want to kind of speak about this. Kind of mentioned it just a little bit. Chris Hemsworth, obviously he's doing, Thor. He's doing loads of other things. I think he's kind of like working on Extraction 2 as well. But he's also working on this Hulk Hogan biopic. And Hulk Hogan himself has endorsed Chris Hemsworth. So, I mean, what more could you want? What more could you want?
Have the Hulkamaniacs also endorsed it? Because when the Hulkamaniacs, when the Hulkamaniacs come through, they're gonna go wild on you.
I love that bit. That heavy breathing that he does, and then his cheeks.
Exactly.
My gosh!
He puts his hands to his ear, innit? To say, "Can I hear you?"
Can I hear you?
And he rips his shirt off. That's already half ripped, so it's easy.
God.
But the Hulkamaniacs.
Exactly. Hulk Hogan. So if you go online, if you go on Twitter or on Instagram, you'll see Hulk Hogan. He's behind Chris Hemsworth. And like I said before, Chris Hemsworth's been training. He's getting pumped up because Hulk Hogan was like, what, 6'5", 6'6", or something like that. I don't know, something crazy. Was he that tall?
I think something like that. I think about 6'5" or 6'4", maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, listen, he's got the physique though, hasn't he, Hemsworth?
He's got it. I think. You know what? I think it's a good match. Like you said before, he's been working out like crazy. He's sort of tall, blonde. He can do an accent. So yeah, I think he'd be all right with that.
Yeah, man. Can't wait for that one. All right, okay. And finally, on movie news, let's just kind of quickly speak about this. Netflix are spending $1 billion US on content in the UK.
What?
So,
UK, that is some good news, man. We need to get up in this. I need to get involved.
Bro, listen, here's a question. Have you been watching The Crown? Everyone's talking about The Crown.
You know what? I've never seen The Crown, I'm not really massive into the sort of royal stuff.
Me neither.
But I know it's massive. People are all over it.
So The Crown was part of Netflix's kind of like push to deliver local content. So they pumped in the millions to make The Crown, and they're seeing success. And I think it's on season number 4 right now, right? So what they want to do is they want to, for 2021 and beyond, $1 billion. So what they're doing is they kind of like they've set up shop at Pinewood Studios. They're going to be kind of like hiring out like studio space at some of these studios, big studios, Pinewood Studios in the UK. And they're going to be making new content. And a part of that deal, Devaldo, remember The Witcher part season 2, I think it was filming somewhere in the UK and then it kind of had to stop. So yeah, man. So expect more UK UK content, basically.
It's also quite shrewd of Netflix as well, because companies get tax breaks
Yes.
when they film in the UK. So a lot of companies, I mean, I think a portion of your film, if it's filmed in the UK, you get tax breaks. So yeah, that's quite shrewd of Netflix. So yeah, good one from
Absolutely.
the financial director.
I
Good
know.
move.
Good one. All right. Okay. Now we mentioned box set watch list, so let's check that out. So
Oh
D.O.L, tell us about
man,
this. The
this
Fall.
one,
You
yeah,
mentioned this before,
Fall.
right? No, maybe not. I can't.
I've mentioned it once before. Do you know what? Why did I watch The Fall? I can't remember why I watched it. It's on Netflix. It's actually on BBC as well. It's been on BBC for a few years. It first came out in I want to say 2013, and I think it finished in 2016 or something like that. But yeah, this is a good show.
Is it
It stars my old girl. Old, but she's not too old. But yeah, my old girl from X Files, Gillian Anderson.
right? Okay.
Yeah, she's good in it. She's like a detective, like a lead detective. Works. She's like a UK one actually, and she goes to Northern Ireland because they've got some mad crimes going on there. A killer is on the loose, and that killer is Jamie Dornan, the guy that was in 50
Oh.
Shades.
Yep.
I've only ever seen him in 50 Shades, and I know people cuss it a lot, but for me, he's wicked. Actually, in this, he is wicked. He's basically a serial killer, and he is a sick individual. He's a sick individual. It's all based in Northern Ireland. He's actually Northern Irish in real life, so his
Right.
accent, his default accent is on show. Everyone is Northern Irish, so everyone's got the accent, and it's really cool. Gillian Anderson's English, and she's sort of the outsider coming in to try and help them solve the crimes. Do you know what? It's a decent show. There's, I think, 3 seasons. Yeah, I think there's 3 seasons, and each season I think is 6 episodes. So it's not a lot, but it's like an hour each though. But yeah, do you know what? It's really good. He's a flawed character. He's a
And
very flawed character.
and Gillian Anderson. I mean, she's obviously in The Crown. She's doing this thing,
Yep.
The Fall.
Yep.
I've seen her in a few movies. So since X Files, she's kind of gone on to have this other kind of the second win. Well, I don't want to say second win, but I mean she's kind of extended her career. And David Duchovny. I mean, I haven't seen much of him, right?
Yeah, he's been doing bits here and there, then the Californication and stuff, and
Yeah.
other bits and bobs. But yeah, Gillian Anderson's been way more consistent. Way more consistent. And it's funny, she was born in Chicago,
Oh.
and I don't know what it is with her. I've always kind of found it interesting because she plays an English person really well. Her
Yeah.
English accent is really convincing. And I've always sort of looked and seen, why is that? I don't know, but I don't know if she spent time in England or what, but she was born in Chicago, and yeah, she did theatre,
But
lots of
she's got
theatre.
but she's got a British accent. No, but what's her real accent though?
That's what I don't know. I mean, I think it's American, but I mean,
This is
I
weird
don't
because
know.
I thought she was British. I thought she was, but now I just had to look her on a wiki. Yeah, she was born in America. Oh my gosh.
Maybe she was born there, but maybe she spent time in England. But
Yeah.
from what I can see, lots of her schooling and stuff like that is in Chicago. So I
Ah.
don't know.
Interesting. Okay, we'll have to dig a bit deeper and find out. All right, folks. So now let's speak about new on streaming and some trailers. Now, Devalda, I remember you mentioned this. You mentioned this months and months and months ago. So only now are they releasing the trailer. I'm talking about everyone's favorite mouse and cat, Tom and Jerry. You mentioned. Do you remember when you mentioned this?
Yeah, I remember mentioning it, and we laughed
We
about it
laughed.
and stuff. But
What? Oh my God! Tell us
mate,
about this.
Tom and Jerry, it's a proper kids movie. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, when I saw it, I thought, what is this nonsense?
Yeah.
But it's basically it's live action mixed with cartoon. Tom and Jerry are the cartoon live action. We have Michael Pena. We have Chloe Grace Moretz. I don't know. I can't remember who else is in the film, but mate, the trailer is so it's nonsense. Let me just put it out there. It's nonsense.
Yeah. It sounds
Directed
it.
by Tim Story, actually. Tim Story, didn't he bring us Fantastic Four?
I was going to say Toy Story, but no. Tim Story, Toy Story. This what?
He directed
Fantastic.
Fantastic Four, Barbershop, Think Like a Man. He directed
Oh,
quite a few. He was involved in Shaft. He's been around. He's been around, but yeah, this is a proper kids film. Like as an adult, just put it on to keep the kids quiet while you can
Yeah,
go and do your thing. But
yeah.
yeah, it just looks like it just looks nonsense. It's like Space Jam. The way it
Oh,
works
right.
looks a lot like
Okay.
Space Jam. Animation, like characters work like just chilling with regular folk. But yeah, do you know what? I don't know. I like old school Tom and Jerry to be old school Tom and Jerry and leave it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, that's me. I'm old school.
No, I know. I get you. I get you. So this one is obviously going to be released next year. Do we know if it's going to be a cinema job or is it going to be VOD?
Well, it says initially it's a cinema job, but let's see what kind of you know state the world is next year. It's been meant to be out in March, so yeah, let's see what happens. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes straight to VOD because I can't. Either way, many people aren't going to rush to go and see that. Either way,
Exactly. All right. Okay. Now let's speak about this next one. So Big Mouth is something that's on Netflix. It's going to be coming to Netflix. So Tia, tell us about this. Sounds interesting.
have you seen any Big Mouth before,
No, but I just typed in Big
mate?
Mouth. Check this out. It's got
Oh,
99% on Rotten Tomato.
mate, yeah. Let me tell you this, teacher. Remember when The Simpsons first came out, we all thought, "Oh, that's a bit, risky, a bit naughty."
Yeah.
Remember
Yeah.
when Family Guy came out,
Yeah.
South Park, all of that? Forget it. Yeah, Big Mouth.
What is it? Is this kind of like what raunchy
It
or what?
is
Or
raw. It cusses everyone. No
is
one gets left
it?
out. And it's like you can't watch it with kids around. Forget that.
Oh my
The
gosh.
first episode I watched had like it's basically his kids and they have imaginary friends and stuff like that. And one of them has what's the monster called? Oh
Uh,
shit, what's the monster called? I can't remember what it's called, but there's a few imaginary friends that appear as certain things, and their imagination can go off and stuff and whatever. I remember the first episode I watched, we had like dicks flying around. The girl, because one of the schoolgirls was, I don't know what age they were, but she was thinking of dicks. So you just saw dicks. And everyone she spoke to turned into a dick.
oh
It
my
was just
gosh.
mad.
It sounds
It was
funny.
mad. It's so risky, but it's such a good cartoon. I can't wait till it's back on 4th of December. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Sounds good.
plow through that. But yeah, if you haven't watched any, you've got a lot of fun your way.
Is
Honestly,
it?
it's
I
really good.
just
Yeah.
on Wikipedia when it says genre, it says coming of age, adult animation, sex comedy. I mean, come on, man,
Yes,
that's
that's
brilliant.
exactly it. Exactly it. Yeah.
That it's got Jordan Peele in this as well. Well, the voice
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
Jordan Peele.
Jordan Peele, yeah. It's funny. Trust me.
All right,
I'm
that sounds
surprised you haven't seen
good.
it yet. Honestly, it's really good.
Okay, I'll check that one out. Yeah, Big Mouth. All right, okay. Now, next one, we've got something from Amazon coming out on the same day, 4th of December. Wow, what a day.
Yep,
This is Sound of Metal. Now, what is this? Oh, hang on a second, Devouter. Is this the Riz Ahmed movie?
that's the one.
Oh, man, this looks powerful, deep.
Very good. Very powerful. Very deep. Yep, you're definitely right. This is the one that stars Riz Ahmed and Olivia Cook is also in this one. And also Lauren Ridloff. Lauren Ridloff is an actual actress who's deaf, and she was in The Walking Dead. She's also going to
Right.
be in The Eternals coming up
Ah.
soon. And this film is about Riz Ahmed, who plays a drummer,
Mm.
and he's slowly starting to lose his hearing, which you can imagine for anyone is, really terrible, life-changing thing. But for a musician, that is like, that's bigger than big.
Yeah.
So yeah, so he sort of goes through what he's experiencing, how he's dealing with it, and which is why maybe they've included some actually like real deaf actors in the film. But yeah, from what I understand on Rotten Tomato and all the sort of reviews and so on, this was made a while ago. This
Mm.
was actually finished in I think 2019,
Wow.
but it's been delayed and delayed. But yeah, this is meant to come out in the cinemas in January as well, but it's gonna be released on Amazon, like you said, on the 4th of December. So I'm all over that. I've got Amazon, so
I'm
yeah,
gonna
I'm
watch
good.
that one. Yeah, I'm gonna watch that one. And listen, when I saw the trailer, I remember watching this trailer a while ago, and it reminded me of another movie, a British movie actually, kind of similar in tone, about a DJ who starts to lose his hearing, and that one was called "It's All Gone Pete Tong." That movie is wicked. So if it's got anything kind of like the pathos behind that movie, oh man, I'll definitely watch this movie. So yeah, so that sounds Sound of Metal sounds like really, really good. All right, okay, Devaldo, anniversary corner, and a nice eclectic bunch of movies that we got for you over here, but we'll kind of leave it up to you to kind of guess what the theme over here is. So the first one is from 10 years ago, 2010, and this movie, I think you can catch this on Netflix as well. So if you're looking for a comedy directed by a guy called
Adam McKay.
It stars Deval's favorite actor, Will Ferrell, and
That's why I've never seen it.
he can't. Deval hates Will Ferrell, but I'm telling you, this movie's got Will Ferrell, Mark Wahlberg, Ava Mendes. It's got Michael Keaton, Samuel L. Jackson, Steve Coogan, British actor, and it's got
Yes.
it's got The Rock in this movie as well. It's just like, oh my gosh, they've got a brilliant kind of like cameo. Samuel L. Jackson and The Rock and everything. They've got this kind of like cameo, but it's about about a movie about these two guys, the two cops. One is so uptight, he's kind of like by the book, and the other guy is goofy, he's nerdy. Imagine who that is. That's Will Ferrell. And basically, all the way through the movie, they kind of like this slapstick comedy. They kind of like pissing about, making mistakes, and at the end of the day, they're kind of there to kind of solve the crime. It's funny, Devaldo. I know you don't like Will Ferrell, but this movie has actually got some really, really funny bits in there. And when The Rock turns up in the movie, you're like, oh my gosh, this is a Rock movie, but there's a whole big twist in there as well. So if you haven't seen it, go check it out. These two playing cops. Have they been in a movie together? Oh yeah, they did. Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg, they starred in a movie called Daddy's Home.
That's the one. Yeah. But that had two parts to it, didn't it?
They did. It did. Yeah, I've only seen the first one. I haven't seen the second one, but the other guys is better than Daddy's Home. Put it that way. You'll have a better time. Rosie Perez is in this as well, by the way.
Oh, Rosie Perez. Oh, cool.
Right. So that was the other guy. So two cops. All right, two cops. Next movie, 15 years ago, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. And let me tell you something. Of all the movies that Robert Downey Jr. is the most proud of, don't get me wrong. He's been on record and he said he loves the Iron Man movies. He loves playing Tony Stark Iron Man. But it's actually this movie, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, which he holds really, really dear to his heart. And he plays a thief who gets mistaken for an actor, who then teams up with a private investigator played by Val Kilmer to solve a murder in Hollywood. And I tell you what, right, it is absolutely brilliant. The movie is brilliant. Robert Downey Jr., man, he was made for this role as well. And I think the reason why he liked it so much was because, it's kind of this... for me anyway, you see kind of like a bit of Tony Stark in there as well. So even before he was actually playing Tony Stark. He was Tony Stark in this movie. It's funny.
Yeah. I think it's a bit of him. I think that's just his character, isn't it?
That's just his character, right? So this movie is directed by Shane Black. He directed Iron Man 3. And the story goes is that when Robert Downey Jr. wasn't getting much work, Shane Black, he wrote this movie for Robert Downey Jr. And then when Shane Black wasn't getting work in Hollywood, Robert Downey Jr. kind of was like, hey, you know what? Let's bring in Shane Black because I think he's going to kind of do a good job. But although, if that's up for debate, whether or not Iron Man 3, yeah, exactly. But it's a good movie.
I was going to say this was during the time when he was kind of coming out of his his alcoholism and stuff like that, and and even from what I hear, Val Kilmer even. As a sort of show of support, he didn't drink any alcohol during production of this film to sort of to try and help or support RDJ.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's a really, really great movie. It's kind of like, no budget, but it's talky. There's enough kind of like, action in there. And it's kind of got this crime noirish kind of thing going on in there as well. So it's definitely worth a watch, called Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. So that one's from 15 years ago. All right, okay, next one, Devaldo. 20 years ago, Romeo Must Die. Oh my gosh, man. Remember this one? Romeo Must Die. Aaliyah.
Exactly, Aaliyah, man. And she literally died like a year later. Can you believe it? In 2001.
That's bad.
It's mad, but yeah, Romeo Must Die, Aaliyah, Jet Li, and is this one of DMX?
DMX. And this is kind of like a one.
Yeah, DMX
So what?
in
Hang
this,
on. Jet
yeah.
Li was the one who. No, he's the. So they team up, and then they kind of like basically kick ass, don't they?
Yeah, they team up, kick ass. It's an avenging cop seeks out his brother's killer and falls for the daughter of a businessman who's involved in a money deal with his father. So yeah, it's all teaming up. Good cop, bad cop. No, sorry, not good cop, bad cop, but like an avenging cop
Yeah.
working with someone who's been killing people, and working with someone who's trying to stop someone killing people. But yeah, this is like Jet Li, sort of some of his early roles in the sort of the US. When he, I think he done. When was
I think his first one was
Lethal Weapon?
Lethal Weapon. He did that.
Yeah, yeah. But Jet Li's gangster, man. I mean,
Man,
come on.
this guy,
And
man.
Aaliyah was rising up. She did the vampire sort of film as well.
That was it. Village of the something of the damned, something damned,
something like that. Yeah. And then this one, and then her music was like, she was like Beyonce back in the day, like before Beyonce was Beyonce. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And remember, she was cast in Matrix. The second one, was it? Was it the second one?
She was, and then Jada Pinkett's the second one, and then Jada Pinkett had to take her place.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, Aaliyah was casting it. You're right.
That's bad. Yeah, man. Sad. I think she died on it was in like an airplane crash or something like that.
Yeah, I think the plane where they were coming back from shooting that video where they're in the beach. There's a song where they're all on the beach. Really, really good song as well.
Yeah.
And they were using one of those small planes, and they overloaded it. From what I understand, it was too heavy and complications, and it came down. But yeah,
man,
I know, it's
sad.
crazy.
But yeah, go check it out again, kind of with the cop vibe going on over there as well. Next movie, this movie now, again, kind of reteamed. I want to say reteamed because I know Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson, they acted together in White Men Can't Jump. And I can't remember if this was before White Men or if this was afterwards. But this movie, it's called Money Train. The two play two coppers, and it's a comedy. It's kind of like comedy drama. Also starring Jennifer Lopez in this as well. And two coppers decide to rob a train full of money. And, it's funny. It's an idea of two police officers who are supposed to be upholding the law, but they are breaking the law. But then the movie kind of shows us kind of like why they're doing it, and obviously are they justified in doing that? So if you haven't seen it, it's definitely worth seeing the chemistry between those two actors. And I think it was at a point where Wesley Snipes was like, he was a major Hollywood star, man. This guy was big.
Major. He was churning out movies, like 3-4 movies a year. It's crazy. New Jack City, Demolition Man was in 93. White Men Can't Jump, 1992. So it was just a few years before that.
Yeah.
He was just doing it. He was just doing it well. But yeah, these two are a really good couple, dynamic duo.
Yeah.
But they just, I think they worked really well together. It'd be nice to see them do something like now.
That would be good.
Nice. I think what. I've just spoke it into existence. And
it's going to happen.
No, guaranteed. Watch this year. You're going to see a movie with them two again. Guaranteed. And just remember that, guys. Flixters, remember where you heard it first. Yeah.
I want to see it. Whatever it is, I want to see it. But yeah, listen, go out and check it. If you love White Men Can't Jump, you're definitely going to love this because it's kind of got this added kind of, the roguishness, where you kind of kind of crooked cops, but you kind of think, oh, actually, they kind of are half decent as well at the same time. So there's that kind of element to it as well, which kind of plays with a movie that we're going to be speaking about afterwards as well. But yes, I think it's definitely worth a watch if you like White Men Can't Jump, just to kind of see the chemistry between those two guys.
Yeah.
All right, okay. Last movie devoured on Anniversary Corner, 1990, Lionheart. Now, this is Jean-Claude Van Damme, isn't it?
This is your mate. Jean-Claude, the splits.
God, the splits on the tabletops, the dancing. Oh my gosh, man. That was it. The reason why it kind of threw me off a little bit, because I remember this being called A.W.O.L.
Oh yes, of course. Absent without leave. That's what I know it as.
That's what I know it as. A.W.O.L.
You know what? That's how I first found out what AWOL meant.
A1. But you know what?
You know
Me
what AWOL
too.
meant?
What's up?
AWOL,
AWOL,
absent
absent
without
without
leave.
leave. Oh
He gone
my,
AWOL. He's
he
off the
got
grid. He gone
AWOL.
AWOL.
Oh my
So an
gosh.
ex-French soldier begins participating in underground street fights in order to make money for his brother's family. So you can see where the the motivation for Street Fighter came from, innit? So
Exactly.
it's like
I know,
Guile
man.
before Guile. They thought, oh, we see you, okay, we'll fight. But yeah, so he goes absent without leave. There's also got that guy in it, Brian Thompson. He's the
Who's that guy? Who's that? Let me see if I
if
can.
you search,
Oh,
for
his face. Oh my God. He's got his jawline. Oh my gosh.
he's the guy. He's the guy that's always a bad guy in these movies,
Yeah.
and his face looks like it's been like
Like
pummeled. He
carved
was in
up or something.
Mortal Kombat as Shao Kahn,
Oh
Mortal
my
Kombat Annihilation.
gosh.
He was in Terminator. He's in all those like 80s. Like he's like the white version of the Asian version of. Oh, I can't remember, there's a guy. I don't know where he's from. I think he might be from like Thailand or something. I don't know where he's from, but
Yeah.
he's got a similar kind of ruggedness face,
Oh my
and he was
gosh.
always in these films like Die Hard or something, and you know he's the guy that whips out the machine
Yes.
gun.
And he's got like had a ponytail. Like, it's,
He was bald but with a ponytail, like he
yes.
would never let it go. That
That
ponytail would
and
be with
that
him
guy,
forever.
he's like been the villain in like hundreds of movies, and he's always
Everything.
comes out. Oh my
Every
gosh,
movie, he's a
man!
villain.
Die
But he's a
Hard.
nice guy in real life, you know. But he cooks cupcakes and brownies on a Sunday. But when it comes to movies, he's just
Oh
he's a
my
villain.
gosh, he is. I know who you're talking about. I
Oh
know
my
it.
gosh.
Oh man, yeah, Lionheart A.W.O.L. Go check it out. It's Van Damme. Was this now? Hang on, was this before Bloodsport or after Bloodsport? This
Oh, I think it might be after, you know. I think
after
it might be
Bloodsport, yeah.
after.
But
I think so,
listen,
yeah.
this movie was made on a budget of 6 million, and it took almost 25 million. Van
There you
Damme was on
go.
a roll, man.
There you go.
Van Damme was on a roll.
Yeah.
All right, okay, folks, go check those. Go check those movies out, and maybe you kind of like got the theme going on there. You know, with cops and robbers a little bit in there. You know, law enforcement, because the movie that we're going to speak about involves law enforcement, involves a couple of coppers.
Yes.
And you know what, right, Devout, I'm not joking. I had this movie on my watch list for a really long, well, for ever since it kind of came out, ever since I heard about it. I had this on my watch list because despite all the shit, right, that's gone on behind the scenes with Mel Gibson, right? So, you know, he's gone, you know, this guy has kind of had a up and down kind of career trajectory, and behind the scenes, he's said some of the stupidest, some of the most racist, some of the most, you know, shittiest things, right? But
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, right? But whenever I hear that Mel Gibson is in a movie, I don't know why. I just got to go watch his movies because I think he's like really watchable. I think he's really watchable. I think he's made some great movies. Braveheart, obviously. Apocalypto, I thought was really, really good. You know, he's directed some movies. He was nominated for an Oscar just like probably about 4 or 5 years ago with Spider-Man was in the movie. Do you remember that one?
What?
What's his name? He played
Oh, you mean Andrew Garfield? Is that the one?
Andrew Garfield.
Oh, is it? Okay, yeah. Okay, I think I know the movie you meant. Is that the Scorsese one, or was that no?
No. It
Getting
was
mixed up.
it was a World War II movie.
Oh, is it not called The Silence? Is it or something? Or no?
No, but that I want to watch that one as
Oh
well.
yes, I know. Hacksaw Ridge.
Hacksaw Ridge. So
Yes.
that
Oh,
was
was he in that? I didn't know
he
that.
was
Okay.
yeah. Andrew Garfield was in that one, and then directed by Mel Gibson. So despite
Oh, he directed it.
he directed that one. So despite all of the shit that was going on, Hollywood still kind of had time to be like, okay, look, you know what? We hate what this guy said and done, but you know what? He's nominated for an Oscar for Best Director. You know, he's in the mix. You know, he's up there with kind of like, you know, all the other people, you know, of that time. So you can't deny this guy's got some kind of talent. But anyway, listen, look, the movie that we're going to be speaking about is Dragged Across Concrete. Stars Mel Gibson, stars Vince Vaughn, directed by
Yes, S. Craig Zala.
S. Craig Zala. Now, he's made a couple of movies that are on my watch list, but out of all of the movies on that watch list from him, this was the first one. So I kind of started with Dragged Across Concrete. So like I said before, 2 police officers, Mel Gibson, who's the older, gruff kind of, you know, he's maybe tired. You know, he's been doing the job for a really, really long time, partnered up with Vince Vaughn. And You could say that they don't always play by the rule book, right? Is that fair to say, DeValdo?
They don't play by the sort of the book of law. They write their own book and go by
Yeah.
that.
Exactly. And in the first like 15, 20 minutes of the movie, there's an incident that happens where they manhandle someone, let's put it that way. They manhandle someone and then they get suspended from their job. So they got a hand in their badges and stuff like that,
Don
right?
Johnson.
By Miami Vice.
Yep.
And so from that point onwards, you kind of sucked into their world, like what's going on behind the scenes and the life that they kind of like lead. But on the flip side of that, you've got this other character, this third character, who is he's an actor called Tory Kittles. Have you ever seen this guy in anything else, Deval?
I don't think I have. This is what's his name? I can't remember his name in the actual Henry.
Henry.
Jones. Yeah, that's the character. Do you know what? His face looks familiar. I'm pretty sure I've seen him in something else, but I haven't, if you know what I mean. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure now I've seen his face once. He was in Harriet. I know that. He was in Harriet, but I can't remember seeing him in anything else, no. But
Yeah.
I think we are going to see him a lot more now.
Exactly. I think he's a great actor. So the movie is about his story as well. And he comes back from a stint in prison and his mate, Michael J. White, oh my gosh, Michael J. White is in this as well.
Enough of this fool.
He kind of picks him up from prison and he's like, listen, hey, I got a job for you. And let's do this job because Henry, he wants to take his family out of the shit situation that he's in. Mel Gibson wants to take his family out of the shit situation that he's in. And you've got all these kind of connected stories and it hinges on this bank robbery. So Henry, Michael J. White, they are teaming up with some other kind of like, bad people to rob a bank. And Mel Gibson and Vince Vaughn, they effectively are going to be robbing the robbers. And the movie plays out in this kind of, I want to say Tarantino-esque kind of a way where, you've got all these different angles, different kind of, storylines, and they're all kind of connected. And as I was watching the movie, I was like, why am I liking this movie so much? Why am I gripped? Why am I kind of like hooked into this storyline? Because it feels like as if not a lot is going on, DeValdo.
It's not a lot, but you know what? Because it's the characters and the motivations. Like they're all trying to help their family. They're all doing the wrong thing. Let's not mess around here. They're all doing the wrong thing. They're all bad.
Yeah.
But it's like it says in the title, dragged across concrete. If you were dragged across concrete, how would you feel? Mashed up. And they all feel mashed up in whatever situations that they've been in. But yeah, it's do you know what? It's a patient film. It's 2.5 hours long. Patient film. But it gets there, and like you said, the bank robbery. There's some really shocking scenes. This is 18.
Yeah.
This is the rated R. There's some really shocking scenes in this. People get shot in the face. People are getting killed. People are getting blown, set on fire. All kinds of. And thing is, you don't think things are going to happen when they're going to happen, and also you don't think certain people are going to get killed or whatever. But anyone can go at any moment. There's a actress in the character
Dexter.
in the bank from Dexter, and she was also in
Jennifer Carpenter. Yeah.
Yes, she was also in the Exorcism of Emily Rose.
That's her.
You think, oh yeah, she's a kind of like a recognized character. We'll see her for a while. Don't think so, mate.
I know. I
felt so sorry for her as well.
That was so bad. Film. And you know what the thing is, right? So the movie is kind of on this one little level, and then there's this whole little bit of the character that you're speaking about. So there's that whole little segment, and I'm like, holy shit, what's just happened? This just taken the movie in a different direction. This is just kind of like infused some sort of kind of, oh my gosh, man, where are we going with this movie? And you know what? Honestly, I was really, really kind of like, I was hooked, I was impressed, and I was like, shit, man, I got to watch the director's other movies. And the thing is, I just had a quick look on this now. This movie was made on a budget of 15 million. So you got Vince Vaughn. Vince Vaughn Vince Vaughn's a big actor in Hollywood, right?
Yeah, but you know how it happened? Because Mel Gibson, like you said, directed Vince Vaughn, actually, also in Hacksaw Ridge.
Yes.
And I think Vince Vaughn had links with the director, and he pitched the movie to Mel Gibson to say, "Oh yeah, mate, come on, be in this film, be in this film."
Wow. Wow.
So that's how we kind of got Mel Gibson into it to, raise the profile of the movie. But
Yeah.
yeah, Michael Jai White, he's been in movies forever. He's
Yeah.
been in Spawn. That this guy is like he's paid his dues. I really want to see him in a
Man,
big role, but
he's got to be kind of like
some
a
good
Marvel
actors in
movie or
this.
DC or somewhere, man.
Yeah, I don't see it happening. I mean, they could have made him Blade, but obviously they wanted Mahershala Ali. But
Yeah.
yeah, he is. Yeah, I like Michael Jai White.
Yeah, man, he's
He's
good.
a bona fide fighter as well. But yeah, I mean, this film for me was, if you want to watch a film that you don't think is going to be good but is good, this is the one to watch.
Yes. Absolutely, man. I wasn't expecting it, and I was just kind of like really intrigued with the way that this movie's kind of turned out. And man, like you said before, like, the people that you think are going to kind of like, survive, that might not happen, and the people who you think are going to die if something else happens. So yeah, definitely. I would say, definitely go and watch it. It was made on a budget of 15 million, and it only took 660 grand at the box office.
Oh wow! Oh shit! Oh my gosh!
But please do not let that put you off. I'm telling you, you're going to enjoy the movie, and those 2.5 hours aren't going to feel like 2.5 hours, man. This movie ticks on, even in those slower moments. It's definitely worth watching. So yeah, man, it's got a thumbs up from me. I mean, I'm giving it a good 7.5 out of 10 on this one. Like, really good, worth your time, worth a watch.
Definitely.
All right, so Devaldo, what have we got time for?
Oh my gosh! Okay, let's do this one. I'll try and do it real quick.
Yeah.
We got a choice. I don't know which one to do. Should we do yours or mine? Hidden Gem.
Because we've spoken about, we've tried to kind of mention this movie loads of times. So let's just quickly do Border, and then I can mention I Trap the Devil like next week. So listen, we've seen this movie, and we've wanted to speak about this movie for a really long time. It's called Border. I think in the UK, you can probably catch us on Film 4. Pretty sure it's on Film 4, right?
I caught it on Film 4. It's also on, I think it might be on Rakuten, which you can actually get to watch this if you actually post us what your favorite hidden gem movie is. And we'll send you back that Rakuten movie code so you can watch Border in your own home.
2 years ago, Deval and I, we watched the trailer for this movie. 2 years ago, we watched the trailer for this movie.
Gosh.
We spoke about it back then. We said, oh, this looks intriguing. So fast forward 2 years and loads of podcasts. Here we are about to speak about this movie. It's called Border. And it's is it Danish or is it Swedish?
Danish, I want to say. Yeah, Danish.
About shit, man, I've forgotten her name now. I've even forgotten her name.
Oh, Tina.
Tina, right.
Yeah.
That's it. So Tina, she plays a border official. So she's one of those people where, you're coming through customs, and if you've got thick goods to declare, she, more than likely you'll probably find her sniffing through your stuff. And when I say sniffing, I literally do mean sniffing, because she has got a special gift or a special power where she can sense when someone has done something bad. Not just like, if you're bringing in contraband or something like that. If you've done something bad or done something illegal, she can actually sniff it off of you.
Literally, it's crazy.
Sniff it off of you.
She has some sort. I don't think she's human.
Yes.
She's not human. Also, I said it was Danish, but it's Swedish. Yeah, she's not like human. She's humanoid, but her face looks a bit like a troll. Yes. A bit like some sort of ogre,
Yes.
And it's like, as Amar said, she's got the ability. Basically, her ability is to sense or sniff out things that are not good, evil. So if someone has done something bad or has bad intentions, she's able to sniff that on them and then notify the authorities that this person is hiding, like, kiddie porn, or this person's done something. So her working at the border, it's like she is the people. There's no escape. You can't bring no drugs through with her. You can't even bring through, USBs or hard drives that's got porn on it. Well, I mean, regular porn, I'm sure is fine, but if it's got any sort of bad, like kiddie porn or anything like that,
She'll get
she
you.
will sniff that out. Yeah. So can you imagine having such a power on the border? It's
That's
crazy.
crazy. So one day she's doing a job, and then another person who looks very, very similar to her, comes through, and she can smell him off a mile, and they have this kind of thing going on, and there's an attraction. His name's Vore. So as the story unfolds, you learn more about Tina and about where she lives and what she does and everything, and almost like as if it's almost like a fairy tale existence. She lives out in the woods somewhere, and
Yeah.
this kind of when I watched it, it's magical kind of fairy tale fantasy world is kind of
Yes.
it was kind of evoked. So Vore, he comes along and he's like, "Hey Tina, like you should be free. Do you know what you are and who you are?" So there's kind of thing about identity in there as well. Listen, it's a strange movie, but also at the same time, it's kind of like a magical movie. It's a love story, a story based on myth as well, and
And it's funny you say that, because it is literally pulled from myth. Because we know the Scandinavians, they pull upon, like trolls and
yeah,
Vikings and Norse mythology and all that stuff, and they've put that into this. The director, who
yes,
goes by the name of Ali Abbasi, pulled all those mythologies into this movie, and that's why they look how they look, kind of like troll like. But also, there's a scene in the movie where the main character Tina, when it's thundering outside, it's raining and there's thunder, and she runs inside under her
yeah,
bed because she's scared of the thunder. And the reason why the director put it in there was because he said that in Norse mythology, trolls like Odin or sort of Thor, I should say, will try and go and kill trolls, and by using these
ah,
lightning, these hammer, so the thunder in the movie is depicted in that way to say Thor is outside trying to kill you.
wow,
That's why they run inside the house.
that's brilliant. Yeah,
It's crazy, but it's all this mythology that's brought into it. And I mean, I just want to touch. I just want to touch on a couple, like the sex scene. Let's just get it out there.
let's
Yeah,
get it out of
let's
the
not
way, man.
linger. Let's not
There's a
let's not linger.
scene where these two eventually, right?
Ah,
They kind of, they get heated, things get heated, and they're turned on. They're kind of like getting excited and everything. And Tina, she turns around and says, "Look, hey, I can't." I don't have, I don't have anything, like, I can't have sex with you. And Vor's like, yes, you can. So they kind of eventually they do. And they have there's this scene in the movie which I couldn't like. I wanted to look away, but at the same time I couldn't look away. I had to keep watching it as well because from her body, she produces what is it? What she's produced a penis comes out.
penis. It's like they kind of I don't know. Like she looks female, he looks male, but then she can grow a penis, and then I don't know, put it inside him. I don't know if he's got a. Did he have a fanny?
I did listen. It might have been the bit
I
where I
don't know
was
what he
looking,
has.
in
It just
between
looked
my
mad.
fingers. It was the
And you see it grow.
weirdest.
I think it
Oh
grows. Like something that you
man,
can choose what to have at any moment and just use it. And it's just one of the weirdest sex scenes. Even the way they're having sex, it's not even like a regular way. It's just the noises they're making. They're having it in the forest, wasn't it? Outside.
outside in the forest is raining,
How trolls
grinding,
do. Yeah.
humping, dry heaving, like you name it. They're like groaning, moaning, roaring. It is absolutely weird. And like I said before, I was trying to look away, but then I couldn't because, like, oh my gosh, I'm going to see like what's going on. The movie is strange and beautiful and magical, and there's kind of all these kind of elements to it. Definitely a hidden gem. Definitely a movie that you should kind of like watch if you want to see something different on celluloid, like not your typical movie.
Definitely not your typical movie. It's weird in the best way. That's all I can say.
Yeah,
That's the one line.
that is it.
If I was to describe it in one line, it's weird in the best way. Mad
There
film,
you
hidden gem
go.
for sure.
Hidden gem for sure. All right, okay, listen. I think that's all we've got time for on this week's episode. We
Yep.
really, really hope you enjoyed the show. Please continue to support us on what, Deval?
Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and also on YouTube. We started to put out some YouTube
Yes.
like videos of the actual show, so you can get this show in any which way you want: Spotify, Apple, Google Play, and also YouTube. So go ahead and use it.
Do it. And yeah, that's enough from me, Deval. Great talking to you. So I'll catch up with you again
You
next week.
too. Defo, peace out. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Just pop in the Flixters podcast.